What's going on, guys? I'm Sean from Fitment Industries, and today we've got a banger video coming at you. We heard all of your comments and misconceptions about Air Ride, so today I've got a GTR behind me with Airlift 3P on it, and we're gonna go see how this thing drives. First and foremost, let's address some of the haters of Air Ride, those people that don't think it's very reliable, that maybe think it's just going to be all loosey-goosey, or maybe that you can't even drive it in the winter. Well, this thing is daily driven, and currently it's winter outside. And Airlift's been doing this since 1949. And if my math is correct, that's a little more than 70 years. And Airlift also has a ton of racing heritage. I mean, these things were used for stock car racing, and they were actually very successful. They were kind of at the top of their class for a while. Now, contrary to popular belief, Air Ride is not all loosey-goosey. This is a friggin' GTR. Now, when you take a GTR, you're gonna put Air Ride on it, the last thing that person's gonna wanna do is get all a loosey-goosey, bad handling suspension. Now, I've driven stock GTRs in the past, and I can tell you that this air suspension on this GTR does not have any sacrifices with the way that it drives and handles. It's still pretty stiff. You can kind of see me bouncing around. It's not super soft like a person would think Air Ride is. Now, it is probably more comfortable than stock, but you're not giving up the handling and whatnot that comes with it. It's still very predictable. It still handles as good as stock, if not maybe even a little better. And with that, Air Ride is more than just for looks. It's more than just being low. It's more than just hard parking. To further on that a little bit, air suspension's used by tons and tons of vehicles. I mean, you're talking your semi-trucks that put on millions of miles in their lifetime. You're talking about emergency vehicles, fire trucks, ambulances, things that need to be reliable and dependable all the time, and they all use air suspension. So I think that just goes to show that a lot of times when you hear those stories of air suspension failures, whether that's a bag popping or a line rupturing, that's all due to kind of poor installation. A bag's not just gonna pop. I mean, these things are tested before they go out. You're talking about people that are having tire rubbing issues on their bags, or they just install their lines all willy-nilly and they move around and they wear holes in them, and then you have another failure. And so these are all things that are problems of kind of poor installation, or maybe lack of knowledge or experience when doing these sort of things. But when you do it right, there's a lot of uses that you can get out of air suspension. I mean, first of all, like I said earlier, you're talking about having a less harsh ride. It's going to be a little bit more comfortable. If you get a really aggressive strut, you can keep it as stiff, but for the most part, you're riding on air suspension. With that good ride quality, you're not really sacrificing any of that handling or anything like that. Like I said, this thing almost handles as good, if not better, than stock. The other thing you're going to be looking at is some versatility. I mean, you can slam it, you can hard park it. It looks awesome. You're going to get tons of looks. You're going to hard park it at the gas station, get gas. Little kids are going to come up and talk to you about it. You know, and after that comfort and hard parking thing, you're also talking about some versatility. And then with that versatility, you're going to be able to drive it. It's going to go back to that comfort and performance thing. It's literally fine. And then from there, you can lift it. Say you need to go on a gravel road or something, or you need to park at Rockfest, Country Fest, and you need to get out of that parking lot that's been mudded up and full of trucks. You just lift it up, you can drive over all that stuff, and that's going to work really good in a city environment too, where, you know, you pull up to the store or something and they have this really aggressive entrance. You can just lift it up, pull it in, slam it down. It's so easy, and you can take it literally anywhere. And then with all that versatility, we're going to want to talk about the reliability. Air suspension is extremely reliable. They use it on semi-trucks. You're talking ambulances, fire trucks. All of these things use air suspension, and they're one of those types of vehicles that has to be reliable and ready to go as soon as they need some use. People's lives depend on this, and they still use it. And it just goes to show that as long as you keep up with your maintenance, you have everything installed correctly, you're not going to have any of these issues that you get with somebody that, you know, kind of installs this at home and then picks the wrong wheel size. You get some rubbing and then a bag pops. That's not going to happen if you do it right. So then now, I suppose, is probably a good time to talk about some of the cons. You know, sometimes you're going to see a car in air suspension that it's driving around at ride height where the wheels aren't smashing into anything, and it's going to kind of look goofy. Now, that comes down to user error again. If the user would have chosen the correct size wheels, you know, got a good offset where you're not going to have any issues while you're driving it, it's going to look really good even at driving height. You'll see in a bunch of the clips of this video of this GTR driving and it's got a really aggressive ride height. And we're kind of on a rough road, as you can probably hear. We're not rubbing anything, we're not hitting anything, we're not damaging anything at all. However, air suspension can be expensive. Can't believe it made it over that without rubbing. That's pretty crazy. Air ride can be expensive, and you can develop things like leaks. And that still goes back to like the way you install it. As long as you make sure everything is tight, torque it down, you know, use sealant on your airlines where they connect to the bags and everything like that, you're gonna be fine. But if that does happen, you are kind of shit out of luck. I mean, if you have a tire that rubs through your bag while you're driving it, your whole system's gonna deplete. The tow truck's gonna show up that you need, and he's gonna be like, that's not fitting on my flatbed. So when you look at it from that perspective, there is going to be kind of some risk involved if you're not super careful the first time. Crispy went all over the country. They put thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of miles on and had kind of countless issues otherwise where they had to stop and fix stuff, but never was it the air ride. So I get where people come from, where they don't necessarily want to do it from a reliability standpoint, where they don't necessarily want to get too far from home without it, but that doesn't necessarily actually mean that it's not reliable. And a further point to make about winter driving is it doesn't really seem to affect it at all. Mario drives this thing literally every single day in the winter. The lines don't get brittle. They're made for this kind of weather. The rubber on the bags doesn't get brittle. Again, they're made for this kind of weather. They're made for everything. Airlift has done the research. They've been in the game for 70 years. They know what they're doing. These things are literally perfect from an engineering standpoint. It's ridiculous. To circle back around to the comfort again, I've been driving this GTR for a while, and when I drove a stock one, I don't want to say it was uncomfortable, but it was a little harsh. I would literally drive this anywhere. It is firm, but it's comfortable. It doesn't like make you be like, dang. Like a stock GTR is like, dang, this is a sports car. But a GTR and airlift is like, it's kind of a luxury sports car in a way. You have all of this confidence, you have all of the handling, you didn't lose anything, but you added 20% extra comfort. I can't believe more people don't do this, to be honest. Well guys, there you have it. That's airlift 3P on a GTR. As you guys saw, you can air it out, look all fancy and whatnot, still keep it comfortable, maybe even a little more comfortable than factory, while still retaining that supercar handling as the GTR needs to keep to make it, well, a GTR. If you guys want to check out some extremely versatile airlift suspension for yourself, head over to fitmentindustries.com. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.